Nadimul Haque.
Sir, respected Vice Chairman, sir, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to thank the Minister for his introduction of this bill. Sir, in a rapidly globalizing world, with technology taking center stage, the higher education sector for a country like India needs to push its youth population to not only change but rather reform the practices to become relevant in a global setting. Thus, the existing laws governing higher education in India needs to be reformed. Before going into the specifics of this bill, sir, I would like to share one of my thoughts with the Minister. The HRD Ministry has announced that it will scrap UGC, that is the University Grants Commission, and AICTE, that is the All India Council for Technical Education, and replace it with Higher Education Empowerment Regulation Agency, or HERA. However, private institutions must play a positive role in nation building through quality higher education backed with quality research. New HERA must therefore be sensitive to these aspects. Institutions like Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, MIT, etc. earned their status of world-class not through government guidelines or regulations, but on their own remarkable and time-tested policies for quality enrichment. It is time for higher education in India to find its proper place at a global level. Sir, now coming to this bill specifically, I do have some concerns which I'd like to share with this House. Firstly, sir, I agree with the fact that IIMs have been given institutional autonomy in terms of funds, administration, and recruitment of staff. However, this bill does not talk about academic freedom. For example, most IIM administrators direct their faculty to publish in North American research journals, where publishing with Indian data is an overwhelming task. And this is done by the IIM's administrators for promotion. So is this academic freedom, I ask? The peril of IIM bill, which replaces government power with new internal powers, that is the institute board, is that at least the government power was accountable to the people vis-a-vis Parliament, CAG, CBI, CVC, CIC, etc. However, the self-appointing board now is not accountable, and the whole thing has become more opaque. Sir, with full autonomy and no state control, academic freedom would be seriously endangered. My submission before this House and to the concerned minister is to have a balance between institutional autonomy and academic freedom. Secondly, sir, in the most recent budget, the share of higher education was a meager 1.5%. So, with this small amount, how will the government be able to maintain the quality of IIMs? Even though the expenditure of IITs and IIMs have increased, but the Standing Committee report in March 2017 states that these institutions have chronic shortage of funds that deter them from becoming world-class institutions. Sir, further, as per the 2017 Financial Times rankings too, only 3 IIMs feature in the list of top 100 management schools in the world. So if you are declaring IIMs institutions of national importance, the expenditure towards higher education must also increase. Thirdly, sir, the present government established a higher education financing agency, the HEFA. I am aware that 2,066 crores have been given to 6 institutes for research and development purposes, and in future I am sure would be given to various other IIMs, NITs too. However, HEFA may not work practically. These institutes are given loan and not grants, and hence these institutes have to pay from their internal resources. This will make education and other expenses in these places more expensive, as authorities would now start exploring ways to increase internal revenues. IIT Madras has already hiked its fees. This may have a long-lasting impact on the admissions to these institutes of national importance. So I request the Minister to consider the financing structure. Fourthly, sir, I congratulate the Minister for giving all 20 IIMs the right to award MBA degrees, which previously could offer only postgraduate diploma in management. Sir, next, sir, while this bill grants autonomy to an institution of higher learning, we must caution the government to avoid constant interference in primary, secondary, and higher school education. They must not pollute by means of narrow ideological consideration and unnecessary interference in education, which is listed in the concurrent list. Sir, a small provision, but culturally an important provision through this bill, the government is, sir, yes,
time is over.
The government is yet again trying to build a personality cult to wipe out history and demolish tradition and diversity. The bill is trying to erode the value of IIM Calcutta as a term, because it should be IIMC, and IIM, it is turning into IIM Kolkata, which is IIMK, which will, sir, which will undermine the identity of IIM Kozhikode also, sir.
Give it to the Honorable Minister. You sit down, please.
Sir,
no.
I end, sir, by saying, sir, management education is important in a country, and I hope that the government takes this issue into consideration and see them as bolstering the potential of this institute, thus addressing these issues will drive our nation forward and give management leaders to India that it deserves.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Srimati